Hey guys, today's video is going to be talking about my journey from Nigeria to Canada. Welcome to my little corner on YouTube. My name is Erica and like I said, I'm going to be talking about my journey from Nigeria to Canada as an international student. If you're new to this channel, thank you and welcome. Please do well to encourage me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. This is my little space on YouTube where I'm going to be talking about lifestyle, immigration, DIY, and tips, and also my personal journey to self-discovery. So do well to stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you. So my visa got approved on the 8th of November, and I had less than a month to prepare for my journey because I wanted to settle in Canada. All right, so I also got to do my medicals for a second time because this is my second application. My first one got denied in 2023, and I decided that medical got expired, so I had to do another one because it was clearly stated in my letter of introduction that I had to make one available at the port of entry. So I didn't want to leave any stones unturned. I decided, okay, I was going to register another one with IOM Linkers. And that was why I left Delta State where I reside on the 9th of December. And my flight was booked for on the 11th of December. Oh, it seems like I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast here. All right, so I'm going to be breaking down this journey, how it started, the pre-departure plans and everything down for you all. My career in Nigeria had always been in the line of education. I studied English and literary studies at Delta State University. So yeah, after graduation I became a teacher. I taught English and I taught literature. But then it was all over the internet. Tech is the new gold, tech is the new oil, and I've always wanted to try something different outside of the classroom environment. So I decided I would rather learn about technology outside of Nigeria, and what better way to do that than applying to Canada, you know. So I got my visa denied the first time, and then the second time, my second try, I got it approved in less than a month, like I stated earlier. All right, so then came the plans to move on to Canada. I had less than a month to plan. I got my visa stamped in less than a week, and then came the time for proper planning. Well, I spent a lot buying foodstuff because I didn't want to come right into this country buying expensive foodstuff from African shops. I made my hair, which I'm protecting right now because this hair must work in money complete. You understand me? So that was the that aside. I also shopped for winter clothes, thermal leggings, winter jackets, and all that because I was going to be arriving in winter. I had to plan a lot. The day of my departure was the hardest for me, guys. I cried like a baby because I had never been away from my family. It wasn't easy for me staying away from them. I wept so much, but at the end I decided that this was a good cause. It was for the best. All my life I've been a teacher, so it was time for me to try something new and something in tech. All right, so I got to Lagos. I did a new medical because the old one got expired, and then I stayed with my sister for a few days. My flight was booked for on the 11th of December with British Airways. All right, so one good thing about British Airways is that all bags, your checked-in luggage, your carry-on luggage, and even the backpack where you can put your laptop and all that, you are entitled to 23 kg for all bags. The only thing is you just have to follow the dimension. So when I got to Lagos, I ensured that I weighed all my bags to ensure that everything fell in the category or in the requirements that we wanted because I didn't want to have any issues with them. So getting there, they weighed my bags and everything was perfectly fine. All right, it wasn't until it was time to check my carry-on bag, the bag where I put my laptop and all that, and that was where the problem started. They said it was meant to fit a particular space on I don't know, they asked me to fit it into somewhere, but it didn't fit because it was too big or too bulky. So that was when I started arranging. You guys, before then my sister had always been like, go to the airport on time. My flight was for 11:15 p.m, but my sister insisted that I get to the airport at 6 p.m latest. in my head, I'm like, what am I going to do there um within the timed range? But she forced me, like she compelled me to do it, and I did, you know. I was glad for it at the end of the day because it took me time to get my bags right. So I was still struggling when one of the agents from British Airways approached me and was like, I'm entitled to 23 kg for each bag. So the check-in bag, like the carry-on luggage, is not meant to be checked at all. So I could put in my foodstuffs, it doesn't matter. And after doing that, I can check in the bag. And so that was exactly what saved me. I arranged everything and my carry-on bag became so flat. I was able to carry it along. They allowed me to take it along. So I checked in 3 bags and I was left with just the laptop bag that had very few snacks and other things. So that was how I said goodbye to my family, and then we moved on to the line where I was supposed to get my passport stamped, and that.
Hello everyone. If we have customers Terry and Mitchell on board, that's Terry and...
Hello everyone, welcome on board this British Airways flight today. To help us depart as soon as possible, please place all larger hand baggage securely in the overhead lockers. Smaller bags must be placed under the seat in front of you. If you are sitting in a front row seat or in an emergency exit row, the floor area must be completely clear for takeoff. Once your hand baggage is safe.
Okay guys, then came the time for food. We have served bread, we have served water, we have served desserts as well. So I enjoyed this chocolate dessert. It tasted delicious, and everything on this flight was quite okay. We had some water, but this here I hated it. After I took the first bite, I really didn't like it at all, so I didn't even eat it. So along with the water, we were served some butter for the bread and then some cheese as well to go with it. So the food was really very tasty. It was delicious, except for that food I talked about earlier. And along with this, we were also served rice and chicken. It tasted really good. Like, I really enjoyed my meal. So this is how it looks. Some sauced chicken and fried rice. This tasted amazing. It was delicious, to be honest, and I ate every bit of it. I watched a few movies while I was on the flight, and I also had a great time discussing with an older lady who sat beside me. She was heading to Aberdeen, and we talked for a while until she fell asleep. And I checked the map and realized that we were very close to London, and that was when I knew that we were about to land at Heathrow Airport, where I had a very long layover before I could board on another flight to Vancouver, where I was headed. All in all, it was a good flight experience, and I know that I'm going to recommend this anytime, any day. We also got served orange juice and a sausage. Again, I knew that if I take this right here on the flight with my long layover, I would go hungry. So I decided to take this along with me to Heathrow Airport and eat it while I wait for my next flight. At this point, I arrived at Heathrow Airport, and this was me taking an escalator because I had a long trip to make in the same airport. You guys, Heathrow Airport is really big. I had to take a train and then a bus to get to Terminal 3, where I would be having my 12-hour layover. It was a long layover, guys, and while I was at it, I decided to change a few of my money to pounds, and then I bought a book which kept me preoccupied until my next flight. I also snacked on the sausage I took from the previous flight. So I spent time basically tired, using the washroom, eating, sleeping. Eventually I got into a flight and I had a window seat again. And this time, I wasn't as free as I was on the first flight because I was surrounded by a lot of strangers, if you get what I mean. So I was bored, I was already tired, I felt really sleepy, and I was glad to be on another safe space again because I knew at this time I was going to catch some sleep. But again, at this flight, we were served a lot as well. I would say British Airways served good food. We had crackers, butter, bread. We also had this turkey dish. It was amazing. It had some vegetables on the side, and I think some mushrooms or something, but really this was amazing, guys. The food tasted delicious. I had every bit of it. They also gave us something, I think custard or so, yeah, and I love it. And seriously, I wish I could lay my hands on some of it here in Canada, but anyway, it is what it is. I loved the food was amazing, guys. Oh my, I'm saying it again. That's how amazing it was. So we eventually arrived at Vancouver airport, and the first thing I did was to get to the restroom because I couldn't use the one on the flight. It was a bit more crowded than the first flight from Lagos to London, so I just decided to keep my cool. Anyway, I went to the restroom, freshened up, and I arrived. A friend was waiting for me. I'm just going to say this time that I didn't do too much videos, like I said, and sometimes it's not really easy doing your videos all by yourself without your equipment. I had already packed it all into my bag, my checked-in bag, so I didn't really have any of my video equipment with me, so I found it a bit difficult, okay? But I promise you, in subsequent videos, you are going to see lots and lots of content. I'm going to be sharing with you my SOP, the SOP I used to get my visa approval, how I got to this place in the first place, and a lot of culture shock. So sit tight, leave your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe as well. Thank you for watching.